All right, so, well, I don't want my screen up there. Hold on.
Mister, you did post the schedule already, right?
Not yet. Again, your responsibility. Ask your home campus, hey, how come we don't have? All right. Here are some of the basic things you need to know how to do in Illustrator. Please pay attention. All right. The number one thing, and I have really stressed this to everyone, right, is if someone asks you to design something, to create something, the size of the document is the most important thing, right? Would you guys agree? Yeah. If you create something and it's the wrong size and you turned it into your boss or your client or your best friend and it's wrong, right? And the day you need to print it out, put it on the internet, it's wrong. That's not a good thing. Would you guys all agree? All right. So the standard, we go to File, New, right? And remember, go to print. A lot of people forget to go to print. If you click print, if you're doing something that we're going to print, which we have done a lot in this class, it automatically chooses CMYK color mode, which is our 4-color process: cyan, magenta, yellow, black, or K or key, right? You don't mess with these. Don't change this to anything else. But here, you put this in inches because we work in inches, right? Now, some of you guys like me who maybe learn Spanish first and use a metric system first, is the metric system typically more accurate and easy to use? Yes. But for all intents and purposes, we're using a letter size document, which is 8.5 by 11. You don't even have to select anything. Just click it here, letter size. Don't go in here. Don't go in here and type 8 by 11.5. That is incorrect. Do not do that. It's also not 8 by 11. All right. I still get people that do this. Don't do that. There's no reason for you to have to type in here. All right. Now, if I tell you it's a custom size like our posters, then you would put 10. And then I don't know if you guys know this, but you hit the tab button on your computer, the tab button, and it goes through all the things that you can select. See if I hitting tab, right? Don't be like a grandma that has to go in here and select this and change it and take forever. No, hit tab. Boom, 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 boom. Look at that. It goes through all the things, all the way from the beginning to the end. Yes, everybody good? All right, so let's go back to letter. There it is. Okay, here's our document. Everybody watching? All right, document size. That's the most important thing. Second most important thing, and some of you guys like do the opposite of what I tell you on this, and that is to use layers. Do not use sub-layers. Don't leave layers unnamed, right? Very basic, and I've taught you guys from the beginning of this school year how to look at a design and break it down, right? I'm going to look at a design I have here for my vitamin D vitamins that I have in front of me, and I'm going to break it down very easy, okay? Everybody looking? Layer 1. Most likely, it's the bottom most layer, which is your background color, yes? Call it background, right? Color. Name it if you want, right? Give me details. The more that you do that, the more that somebody else who might get this file later is going to know what to do, right? Okay. Rectangle tool. Now, Illustrator doesn't have necessarily a paint bucket and you make a shape and you fill it. You draw the shapes, right? Most importantly, what did I tell you guys Illustrator is like? It's like construction paper, but digital, right? Think of everything you create, every shape, letters, pictures, they're in a layer format. One thing's at the bottom, one thing's at the top, some are in the middle. Can you change those? Yes, right? But think of everything flat, 2D. All right, here's my color. I have a fill and a stroke. Some of you guys still struggle and put strokes by accident. Don't leave a stroke in there. I'm gonna choose a little bit of like a yellow. I'm gonna go to my stroke over here in my toolbar, and you can do that to it. And I'm gonna take the stroke away, say no stroke. Very simple. Draw a rectangle right here. Boom. Lock that layer. Or should I do a little gradient? What do you guys think? All right. Now, I can't remember if this class I showed you guys in the gradient tools, there's also one called the gradient mesh tool right here. Now that one, all you have to do is click anywhere on a shape. Now you only get to use it once. And what I mean by that is if you click it and then you try to go backwards, it won't undo it once you go forward. You know what I'm talking about, Tony? Yes? As opposed to a gradient, a regular gradient. So if you do mesh tool, it looks cool because it's like almost airbrush. If I click there and I choose another color on my spectrum over here, colors. Oh, I'm on the stroke, sorry. See what happens when you're on the wrong one? And I choose one of these colors, you see it kind of blends in. It's almost like someone airbrushed it or spray painted. Now it's just that point, right? Can you move it around with your direct select arrow? Remember, you got your regular arrow, direct select, right? Command Y is preview to see where all your points are, right? Cool. Command Y. Now, I can go back in time here, but notice it won't let me. Oh, sorry. If you go forward too far and you want to undo this, you're not going to be able to because you already did all this other stuff, right? Okay, so I'm just going to add like a little light color so you can see kind of like a blend like that. Cool? Everybody got it? Well, if you go forward, you can't really undo a gradient mesh as opposed to, check this out. What if I do a gradient? A gradient I can always edit, whether it's at the beginning or end of my creation of my file. Watch this. Everybody watching? Well, I want to let me adjust. Okay, so this is a gradient. Everybody looking? So also kind of like a yellow color, but I go to my gradient, but I have to go to the window that says gradient to add a color. A gradient must have a minimum of 2 colors to be a gradient. Here it is. When I select the shape, you're watching, Tony? And I go to my gradient window, under window, the default is that gray. I grab this color and drag it onto the gradient like this, right? Now I can take the black out by dragging it down. I can add more by clicking here and double clicking, and it'll give me this. If I get grayscale, sometimes it'll be defaulted to grayscale. All you gotta go is over here to the options and go to CMYK. We want CMYK if it's print, right? So there I can adjust, I can make that color and add it, right? Literally on, as they say, on the fly, right? So check this out. Now, if I want to come over here to my gradient tool, you see these little bars show up right here. It's kind of hard to see, but there it is, right? And I can now drag my gradient in whatever direction I want, and I can even adjust the blending of the 2 colors to make a smoother transition if I want, right? In this case, it's 3 colors. Look at that. Really nice. Nice and smooth. Everybody got it? That is different from gradient mesh because as I go forward and design whatever I'm designing, I can always come back to the gradient and adjust it by using the gradient tool or the gradient window. This one is stuck at this. I would have to make a brand new one, right? And try something different at the very end of the file. I can't go back in time and adjust this one. It's done. All right. Does that make sense? Okay. I can't add one of these gradients. I can't do a lot of things. I can't use a clipping mask with this. It will not let me. I've tried. Okay. This it will. This it won't. Okay. Everybody good? All right. First things you should do also, let's save our file. All right. Some of you guys like saving on the cloud. Some of you guys don't. I would suggest save on both. Those of you guys who have installed some of the Adobe stuff on a personal computer or are lucky enough to be able to install it on your school issued laptop, good for you. Save all the stuff, save it in the cloud. You always have the files with you. All right. Always name your files appropriately. I was just talking to one of your classmates in the morning and he did a scan and he named it beautifully, right? So this is going to be sample, final exam, underscores, use underscores, no dashes, no periods, final exam, right? And then I love for people to put their initials, right? So we know who it belongs to. In case the file is not set up right, we can always go and pick on whoever set it up. Yes? No? Anybody? All right. And again, why do I tell you guys that's important? Because you guys have not worked in the real world yet doing graphics. In the real world, you're going to have to follow the way they tell you to name stuff, right? They have an archiving system. And if you go against that, I've heard people get fired because they don't want to do what they tell them, right? Just do what they tell you. That's the way you save it. right? And again, I've told you guys I'm not the most organized person in the world, but when it comes to naming files, you really have to be careful and pretty professional about it. Again, you guys don't have that experience yet, but you will if you end up doing these kind of graphics, and you'll remember 20 years from now, oh, no, it was right. Okay, hit save. Now, this is super important too, right? Come Friday, and you don't know where you saved your PDF that you're going to upload, always know where you're saving it. Would you agree? It's good to know. I like using documents, right? That way you're not doing it in the downloads and all your downloads are there and everything is there and it's all mixed up. Save it in your documents, right? Cool. If you want to save it in a folder, you click on this little tab, you create a new tab, you say final exam folder, and everything, all your assets, all your pictures will be in here, right? All right. Try to be more organized. That's really important. There we go. Okay, so layers, size, all that good stuff, right? Pen tool. The pen tool, super important, right? We draw shapes, we can modify type when we outline it, all that good stuff. All right, check this out. I'm gonna lock this layer and I'm gonna make a new layer and I'm gonna call this one header. All right, I'm gonna use it several ways. Watch what I'm gonna do. Everybody watching? I'm recreating this vitamin bottle here on my desk. All right, so it's got a header, and here's a rectangle too. I'm not even gonna name it blue header. Cool. Header means it's at the top. Boom, right there. Boom. Let's choose a nice blue. That's close to what I see on my bottle here. It's something like that, maybe a little lighter. Oops, cancel. I just drew a rectangle. There, that's a little, oh, that's perfect. It almost matches it. All right, cool. Lock that layer. Boom. New layer. I'm gonna call it top marquee. Everybody watching? Marquee. You'll see why. Okay, so here's some Pathfinder and stuff. To create more shapes than I can normally do, I'm gonna do this kind of stuff. Everybody watching? Yes? No? All right, check this out. I'm gonna draw a rectangle. Yes? I'm gonna color it in. Actually, technically, I don't have to color it in yet. I'm gonna do a circle or ellipse. Everybody watching? Yes? Make it another color. How do I make a perfect circle? What do I do? Huh? Yeah, you hold down Option Shift if you want to scale it from the center out, or just Shift, right? Or what if I want a specific circle? What if I want an exact 3 by 3 inch circle, like say we're doing our stickers? What do I do? I select the ellipse tool and then what? Anyone? Yeah, you just click once and it'll ask you what size you want to make this. 3, 3. Now, this is where if it doesn't say inches and you see PT points, that means you got this in points and you didn't start it off right in inches. And you got to go and change that. Cool? All right. Check this out. Everybody watching? Yes? No? All right. So I'm making this marquee and you'll see what I mean by this. So I'm going to select these two. How do we align stuff so that we know it's perfectly aligned with each other? What if this one's off like this? And I want them perfectly aligned horizontally and vertically. What do you think? Anybody? Are there alignment tools? Window. Align. There they are. Yes? This one. Yeah? And if I select these objects and I click on this guy, horizontal, now vertical, boom, they are perfectly aligned. Would you agree? Yeah. All right, now check this out. If I get this circle, everybody watching? Yes? And I want to make this part on the bottom flat. I go to my pen tool, right? I can even bring out this little drag out menu. And if I go down here to this point, there's a point, it's hard to see on the screen. It automatically wants to delete it. Boom. Everybody saw that? Right? See how it cut it up? Now I get this guy, the convert tool, and I click here, and I click here, right? Everybody see that? So I modified that. It's not how I want it, but that's cool. Are we watching? Yes? Watch. This one, I'm gonna stretch it out a little bit, about like that. And I'm gonna make a shape. Watch this. Now I had to recenter it because it didn't work for me there. There it is. Cool. I'm gonna bring it up. You guys watching? Select those 2 points. Yes? Pathfinder. You guys know how to use this? Everybody should. It's what I call a cookie cutter tool. There it is. I'm gonna unite these. If you click minus front, it cuts that shape out. If you click unite, it makes it one little shape, a marquee. I'm gonna get rid of my circle. You guys see it? Yes? No? Maybe? Kinda? Sorta? All right. Watch this. I'm gonna copy it. Command C, I'm gonna copy it in memory, right? Now I go over here and I'm gonna go to my gradient. You're gonna see this actually happening in real time here. I click on this. I'm gonna do kind of like a brown. Something like this, a reddish brown. Oh, that's it right there. Like that. Maybe a little redder. Cool. Everybody watching? Now watch this. How do I make this exact brown on my gradient and I copy it over here without having to do anything? I just click it, hold down Option, and it makes an exact copy. I'm gonna get rid of that white and I move these 2 to the side, and I'll have a perfectly even gradient with kind of like a rose colored center. You guys see it? Now this one I can still blend it a little bit. Looks a little bit off center. This one blends over. Cool, I got a little marquee. Remember I copied it before when it was green? Yes? Command F means paste in front. And I made a little copy. Right? Now this one, I want a little border. Watch this. Command plus. Right? Now I put this on stroke only. What if I do a nice bright yellow? Boom. I zoom in. That looks pretty nice. I come in with my direct select arrow. I click on this guy. 1, 2, 3. I go over here. I click on this guy. 1, 2, 3. I go over here. I'm just going to move this one visually like this. And visually like that. And bring this guy down a little bit. And bring this guy up a little bit. Using the direct select arrow. Now I got a little border on it. You guys see it? Isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? Anybody care? All right. Don't tell me you can't do this. All right. Save. Watch this. Now, what if I did a little pattern? Anybody here know how to do patterns? Yes? No? What do I mean by patterns? Check this out. Everybody looking? Pen tool. Are we watching? Click, drag, Option, click, drag, Option. I'm making little slivers like little grass blades. Click, Option. Right? It's like a little tuft of grass. I click on the last point. I go across. I give this a fill color. Let's do, I don't know, green. It's grass. Cool. Everybody see it? Yes? No? I go like this. How do I make a pattern? I drag it, holding Option and Shift. And I go like that. Command D is duplicate. Yes? No? Can I grab one of these and flip it around so I get a variation? Yes. See, I just flipped it around. Yes. Could I do a distort, a filter? Can I do a lot of things to it to make it look different? Yes. Cool. I select all those. Group them, Command G. Bring them up here. They look like little grass blades. They're too dark. Let's make them a little bit lighter. Light green. Cool. How's that look? Yes? No? All right. Very easy. Now watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab my stroke, the marquee stroke, Command C, copy it. I'm going to put that on its own layer. Go to New Window, Layers, hit on me. I'm going to put grass clipping mask in marquee. Oops, I misspelled it. That's fine. Paste in front. I'll make that one another color so you can see. I'm gonna just make it black. I'm gonna copy the grass, copy it and delete it. Look at my layers. When you select a layer and you select an object, watch how I selected just the marquee, the black one, and I tell it paste in back. It's gonna paste it behind the black marquee. If I would have just said paste, it would have pasted it randomly anywhere. Watch, Command V is anywhere, right? Command F would be in front, but I don't want it in front because I want to create a clipping mask. Watch this. The black marquee line, select the grass that are grouped. Command what to create a clipping mask? Command 7. Boom. The black one disappears. I got my little grass on the edges. Anybody good with that? Yes? No? Maybe? Awesome? Cool? All right. We're getting along here. Notice my layers. Pretty cool? All right. I'm literally recreating the label that I'm looking at here. I've never done this before. Text on marquee. Ready? Yes? All right. Everyone in here, no, I'm not talking to you, Siri. All right. Everyone in here should know how to download and install a font. Everyone, yes? Go to the interweb. Free fonts. Now, I've told you the ones that are the best. We got Font Squirrel, the font. I wouldn't go looking for some crazy stuff. Just look at what we want. Let's go Font Squirrel. All right? Because a lot of them are confusing. Then you download something you shouldn't. Cool? Font Squirrel. Boom, click on it. Remember, it's got to say free. If it says off-site right here, that means you got to pay for it. Okay? But if it says download OTF or TTF, you're good. All right, let's see what they got here. Popular. I'm going to look for a nice one. Nature. Sorry, I just recorded one of my old man sounds here. Well, kind of like this one. Lobster 2. I like this one. Let's do this one. Lobster 2. Download. Right? It comes in as a zip file. I click down here. Oops. It should be in my downloads. Double click that folder open. All the ones that say OTF or TTF, not the one that says text. I select all of them. Hold down my shift. Double click them. Install font. Sometimes it'll give you that to check them. There it goes. It's doing it. Always remember the name of the font because once you go back to Illustrator, you might forget. So it's Lobster 2. Go back to Illustrator. And I'm on my new layer, right? That says text on marquee. I can even lock the other one so I don't accidentally touch something. Because if I click with my type tool on this line, what happens? It uses up the line and wants to be the type, right? So lock everything. Text on marquee. And this brand is called Nature Made. Let's go here. You must really pay attention to this one. Now, sometimes you might want to type these separate. Remember to scale, no stretching of text. Don't be that person that goes to the character palette, Command T, and selects this and goes 1, 2, 3. Don't do that. You can scale in Illustrator, right? Now, it is important that if you do scale something that's a font, and you end up with 39.550, just make it an even. That is kind of cleaning up your work, being accurate. Just round it off. You can always adjust these, okay? Nature Made. Okay, are we watching? I put them separate. Lobster, yes? There's our font. I like this one, maybe this one. I like this one. This one's got bold italic. Everybody watching? Yes? All right, remember, you can outline a font. I always make copies. I keep them on the side. Always keep a live version here. What do I mean by live? Live, I can go over here. I can get the type tool. I can select the T. I can change it to a 7 if I wanted to. I can mess with it. But these that I left over here, and notice they're not the same size. Would you agree? I want them the same size. Can you use the eyedropper and select one of them and click on this one? Not only will it make it that font, but it will make it that size. Boom. Cool. It'll also add a color, right? If to something selected. Okay. All right. Next step for fonts. Shift Command O. What does that do? Anybody? Yeah, if I do that to a font. You're outlining a font. Shift Command O, not 0. What did that do? That made it not a live font anymore. This is a live font. I like to leave it there. And this is the outline one. What does that mean? That means when I do Command Y, I can see this is a live font. I don't see points. I can't grab the top of the N, the ascender here, and change that. But this one, since I outlined it, they become objects, just like everything else I just drew, right? They're points. I can manipulate this. Command Y. I can come in here and select just the top of that end like this, right? And extend it.
That's how you make your own font.
That's how you do the nestling. We did that a few weeks ago. How do you modify fonts, right? You're going to be asked to do this just a little bit. Notice I just manipulated it a little bit, right? Now remember, these are all separate even though they're grouped. So when you outline something and they're separate characters, that means each letter, the A, the T, the U, the R, you sometimes have to ungroup them to get them to be separate. Yes? And this is where the nestling comes in. What if I do something as simple as this? I bring the A, and just so you guys can see, I'm going to change the color. Oops, wrong color. Right? Oh, color's not working. Hold on. Why doesn't it show gray? Oh, it's on grayscale. See, that does that default. Go to your colors. Ah, I hate when it does that. Show options. Go to CMYK. Boom. Okay, there it is. You guys see it? Yes? Now you can do it this way or even manually. Watch, everybody watching? Select the A, copy it, right? It's in memory. Select both the N and the A characters. Find your Pathfinder, minus front. Boom. What did that do? It created a little gap here. Command F, paste in front. That brings your A back. Now you can move it over a little bit and create these cool, interesting, what we call like nestling areas, right? It could be something as simple as that. You don't have to do it to every single one. It just adds a little bit of dimension, and I'm sure you see it in packaging, stuff that you buy every day, right? I guarantee you'll see it. Next time you go to the drive-thru of your favorite fast food place, look at the posters. Look at the graphics. I guarantee you'll see stuff like this, right? If you haven't been noticing already that things like that happen, right? Like here, this R and the E. I don't like how there's a big gap here, but guess what? Using that technique that I just did, could I do something? Copy the R, right? Watch, I'm gonna make it red. Copy the R. Right now it's behind the E, yes? You guys watching? Copy. Oops. Copy. Command C. And then I'm gonna delete it. I'm gonna select my E. By selecting this object, I'm telling the computer, do something after I select this object. Now, if I do Command F, it pastes it in front. Now, if I select this, I do minus front. Now I got this little gap right there. Command F, it's still in memory. It brings it back, right? See, I got this little doohickey here. Now I should have cut a little bit more away. Is there anything stopping you from creating your own shape if it didn't use up enough and cutting that part out and making it bigger, see? Yeah. It almost creates like a negative space, right? Okay, and then what I tell you guys, the first letters, I always kind of modify them. Let's ungroup these guys. Same technique. Maybe I scale it a little bit. Maybe I get this ascender, this top part, and I move it up a little bit so it kind of mimics the N. You guys see that? Was that easy? That's it. And that's all I'm going to do for now. But I want you guys to be able to do this. All right. Now I'm going to group these guys. Command G. You regroup them. Command G. I move this guy in a little bit. Select that, Command G, bring it on its own layer. Cool. Let's use white just for now. And I'm making a marquee for a bottle of vitamins. Cool. We're missing a little something there. Command S. All right. Now, everybody ready for the next part? Pen tool. I want some leaves. New layer. Leaves. On marquee. Now, some of you guys are good enough that you can just envision some leaves and draw them. Some of you guys might need some help. Could we go to the internet and type vector leaves? What do you guys think? And we want pretty simplistic ones. All right, here's some pictures. These are nice. You guys see these like on stuff that's eco-friendly or natural. Would you guys agree? All the marketing people that trick us into buying stuff that we don't need. What do you guys think? Right? Okay. If you can't find something that you can download, the last thing you want to do is use a low-res JPEG. We don't want that. Right? Would you guys agree? But it shouldn't, you guys should be able to look at something like this one. Check this one out. What if this is only a JPEG? Watch this. Save image as. Vector leaf icons. All right. Say that this is not a vector. Imagine it wasn't a vector. Right. And I go to my Illustrator and I go to my leaves on marquee layer and I do Shift Command P to place vector green leaves. This is a low-res JPEG. It's pixelated. Can I lock that? Command 2. And go in here with my pen tool. And quickly, let's choose a nice bright color. Don't tell me you can't do this. Only a stroke. Click like that. Use your option. Click right there. Done to be perfect. Click over here. Remember, least amount of points, right? When we did the ducky. You guys remember the ducky? Huh? If you didn't do good with the ducky, then, huh? Yeah, you weren't here. Pen tool. Make sure it's smooth. Now, do I have to copy this exactly? No. What if I decide that I want to create a complete shape? You guys watching? How long did that take me? Okay. That's again, if you can't find a vector one and download it right, right? And I bring this over here. I fill it with color. I make it a green that I like. Cool. What about the little sliver here? What do you guys think? Should I have the little sliver? Can I do that very easily? The same thing. Command 2. What if I draw the little sliver like this? It's a nice little curve. I'm not even referencing it exactly. It does kind of like something like this. It curves along with the other one. It does something like this. This is not perfect, but you get the idea. Boom, there's my little shape, right? I don't even have to do a clipping mask. I can just make it a white. No, no. That's Pathfinder if you really wanted to cut through. Pathfinder minus front. We have to select both. Option Command 2 to unlock everything. Minus front. That's not the smoothest, but you get it. Delete this guy if you don't need it. Keep this guy for safekeeping over here on the side. Remember, this is your scratch paper area. Now, I'm going to stretch this one because I'm going to distort it a little bit because I want it to look nice. And then I copy it by dragging it and I kind of overlap them. Right? One's underlying the other one. One's on top, one's on the bottom. Yes? Would you guys agree? Everybody looking? What if I do something as simple as a gradient? We just did a gradient earlier, right? Watch this. Drag that green. Super simple. Get the browns out of that gradient. Give me a green. Give me a little bit of yellow right here. Like that. Ah, beautiful. Look at that. Right? Select this guy, use your eyedropper, apply the same gradient to that one. Go to my gradient tool, adjust it a little bit so it looks like a little bit different, like overlapping. Grab those two, Command G. Beautiful little leaves right here. Now, how do I get them in back of the text? What do you guys think? They're on a separate layer. What do I do? Move the layer. Move the layer under the text. Boom, shakalaka. All right. If you want to do a little effect, right? Let's do a what do I call it? Drop shadow. Boom, that's too strong. Well, actually, it doesn't look bad. Huh?
Just drop it a little bit.
Drop it? What do you mean?
Thinking about drop the amount.
Oh, yes, yes. Let's do 30. Let's see.
That's good.
Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. Right? Cool. Cool. Everyone should be able to do this. All right. Let me see the text. Now the text, could I do something? I can simply watch this. Everybody watch. How do I make that send out? I can do a copy, paste in back. What if I make that black? The one in back, right? There's a copy behind it. Yes, everybody watching? All I did was copy and paste the text on itself in the back, and then I offset it with my arrow keys. And there we go. Cool. There's a white one in front, black one in back. We got some little grass. The grass, now I want the grass in front of the text. Thank you very much. Boom. How do you like them apples? No? Anybody? I swear, this is my little vitamin bottle. Look.
Oh, literally? Oh, yeah, that's cool.
All right. Everyone in here should be able to do something as simple as that. Okay. Will it take some of you guys a little longer? Sure. But the concept of how to put something together should be there for everybody. Okay. Next steps. Okay. So let's unlock everything. I'm going to center it. I'm going to turn everything on. Very good. Yes. Everybody there? I'm going to group the whole marquee. Check this out. I'm going to bring this over here. I'm going to scale it. Oh, one of the things, everybody look, when you're scaling stuff, make sure in Illustrator, you go to Preferences, General, make sure Scale Strokes and Effects is on. It was not on mine. This helps when you're scaling stuff up, you won't lose the stroke thickness. You may have noticed on some of them, it kind of does that. All right. So I'm going to do that. I'm just centering that. Nature Made. All right. Next steps. Pathfinder, Clipping Mask, Image Trace. Everybody ready? Okay, who's gonna be your childhood character that is gonna be the spokesman? What the heck? The spokesman for oh, I accidentally hit Shift Command in. Anyway. SpongeBob, Bob Esponja. SpongeBob. Let's see. Bob Esponja. All right, check it out. Everybody looking? Now, if you cannot find a good free vector of something like this, right? You go to images on your Google search. You go to tools. You choose the largest file size that's going to be pixel based. I like this one. It's on Wikipedia. Ooh, it's a transparent PNG. Let's go. And they want monies. Okay. And if you go here to the image, right click, save image as, right? Now, depending on size of what you're printing, but say we're going to print this poster size on our big printer over there, right? This image might not hold up, but let's go back and see. This is how we do image tracing. Yes, you ready? New layer. Bob Esponja. I don't know if it's a J. Space. There. Shift Command what to place an image? Shift Command what? Place. Emphasis on place. Thank you, everybody. That's the right way. Click and drag. Now, I can tell it is very pixelated. If we were to try and print this on our big printer, a 36 by 24 poster or 10 by 17, it's going to pixelate, right? So maybe for a small label for like ear pods, this might work, right? For a little sticker. But I make a copy. This is image tracing. window, image trace. Illustrator has the ability to kind of redraw stuff for us. Again, it depends on the quality of the image you find, right? It's very easy for it to do very simple line drawings, black and white stuff. It'll do it really nice. I go here to high fidelity photo because I want it to do as much of the detail as possible. It's trying to redraw it for us, right? And you're gonna say, oh, that's not bad. Cool. Check out your options here. I don't want the white, so it won't let me do it on high fidelity. That's fine. We'll pick it out right now. Everybody watching? So is it done? Command Y. Are any of these two vector? No, right? We have to do one last thing to convert an image traced image. And we have to go here and select expand. It's also in the top menu, I think, right here. Oh, I hit it already. Now, Command Y after I hit expand. Oh, say okay. Command Y. You guys see the difference? This is now a totally editable vector SpongeBob. What do I do to get rid of the white? Direct select or hollow white arrow. Click on the white, hit delete. Totally editable. I can come in here and make his eyes evil red. Yes? Everybody like that? No? What? And then I select the blue. Let's also do red, but we're going to do a gradient. Watch this. Because he hasn't taken his vitamin D. Ha! I know anybody. Nobody cares. All right. Gradient. Let's go to the gradient. Boom. How would you know that? Because you read it on the internet?
No, my parents.
No, don't say that. And there's a circular gradient. There it is. We can move that off to the side. Why isn't it moving? Oh, gradient tool. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Yeah. Oh, you could go in there and draw some veins. What? Why not? I'm the artist here. This is artistic interpretation, artistic license. Anybody ever heard of that? No? That's how you create awesome memes. Artistic license. No, Tony? All right. There's definitely something wrong with him. He needs his vitamin E or vitamin D. Right? Here it goes. We got a beautiful, he's going to be the sponsor for this. Right now, we'll come up with a saying. All right? Do another. Watch this. There's another trick. What if I want a nice white glow? I make a copy of him, right? I use my Pathfinder and I unite it all to make a complete shape. This is actually how you would do a sticker if you wanted an exact cut of him, right? You would make a complete shape like that. I'm gonna go back. I'll make this white. Everybody watching? Command S if you haven't saved in a while. Everybody watching? What if I do a blur? An extreme blur of the copy. Yes. Look at this. A nice extreme blur. I can always change the color. And it's a glow. Send it behind him. Shift Command bracket left. And there's now a glow around him. Right? I can make this bigger if it's not enough. And now I put him in front. It kind of helps stand out. Right? It's kind of hard to see up on the screen. But you can see it, right? A nice glow. I can even change the color of it because it's a whole separate vector shape. What if I wanted red? Cool. All right, you got it? This is the objects floating in space in advertising and marketing. There we go. I just adjusted it. Select both, group it, right? That was image tracing. Cool? Yes? No? Anybody? All right, let's do a pattern. Back pattern. And somebody think of something that SpongeBob is going to be saying about this vitamin D3. I'll put the vitamin D3. You guys come up with a model right now. All right. So next step, let's do a pattern. Where are my layers? Layers. Pattern. Okay. Pattern could also be a texture, but everybody watching? What if I want something simple like some circles? Everyone should be able to do this. It doesn't matter what color, no stroke. Everybody watching? Yes? How do I do this? Option drag, Command D. I don't like this one. I grab these guys. I kind of center them visually. Drag, Command D. Select all of them. Right? Group them. I'm going to drag them down next to the background layer. Now, they're a bright color, yes? They totally mess up our design. Would you guys agree? This is the important part. Transparency. Go to Window. Transparency. This is the one that lets you grab stuff and tell it to be something else with simple filters, wherever it went here. Transparency. Hold on. Oh, I turned it off. Great. It's over here on the side. Hold on. There it is. Right? This one, everyone should be able to know how to use transparency. It's not difficult. It's a window. Show options. Check it out. So I have it selected. Remember, you can do some of these blend modes. Some of them will give you a nice blend. Oh, that's actually good. Color burn. And we can always lighten them. I just want something going on in the background, right? These are different. They're not permanent. You can always go back to normal. We want something very subtle. We want to be able to see the circle. Oh, no. We want to see the circles just enough. Oh, that's kind of weird, but maybe. So far, color's not bad. And luminosity. Oh, no. So I'd say it was color burn. Everybody looking? Now that's still a bit strong, but it's there. And remember, you can lower the opacity. So it's just enough. Let's see if you can even see it up there. I can see something subtle. It just gives it a nice little texture, right? Everyone should be able to do a pattern. Cool? Very simple. Okay? If you want, you can do a clipping mask on that. Watch this. I'm going to turn everything off. Oops, sorry. I meant to unlock. Turn everything off, except the background and this. Watch this. Don't forget, be good with your files. If I draw a shape, doesn't matter what shape, and I don't want these to be sticking out down here, I just do a clipping mask. Select my circles, select my shape, Command 7. It's just a mask. It doesn't delete them, but it hides it. It makes it look nice. Cool? Look at that. Yes? No? Vitamin D3. That's what this stuff is. I had forgotten to do this, so I'm just going to lock everything. I'm going to go up here, make it the top layer. Oh, very important. Everybody look here. I still have students doing this. Super important on the layers. I forgot to say this. You guys looking? Do not get a layer and drag it onto another one, because then you get these sub layers. People are still messing up with this. And then I go to their desk and I close the sub layers and only got one layer. Do not do that, right? The sub layers can confuse you. If you know how to use them, good. But I want to see separate layers for stuff like this. Move the layers by dragging it, and notice the little hand, you can see a blue line highlight. That means you're putting it in between those layers. If you see the whole layer highlighting, that means you're dragging it onto a layer, which is not good. We want to drag it to a line. See the line? That means you move the whole layer. You should be able to do that effortlessly at this point. Should not be difficult for you to do. All right. And I'm just going to pick a random font because it says it's D3. Check this out. Everybody looking? Vitamin D3. I'm going to choose a nice straightforward font like Arial Black. Like that. Now watch this. Everybody look. If I asked you, I want the 3 to be lower and down here like this. Watch this. There's 2 ways you can do this. Everybody watching? Yes? A live font, and I have 2 separate characters. What I mean by characters, the 3 and the D are 2 separate ones, and I scale this down. This will work. I mean, I'm not saying you can't do this, right? And you make it like a sub font like that, right? Now, could you highlight this? Command T, here are character palettes. You guys watching? These are, I mean, subscript and superscript. That's what I meant to say earlier. So I don't know if you guys see these tabs here. They're right here. You guys see it? Subscript, superscript. If you don't see all these options on your character palette, show options, and you just click on this, let's see what it does. Okay, it's a little bit low, right? And then you look for your baseline shift. That's this little guy here. And see how that lets you move it up and down. So that's a manual way to do it. Whichever way is good for right now, but you can do it that way too. Cool? Everybody see that? All right. So D3, and I'm just recreating this little vitamin bottle thing. And I want the same brown. Oh, it won't do it because it's a gradient. Let's just use a nice brown. There it is. I don't know why they choose brown as a D, as a vitamin D shape. Okay. Last thing. Oh, 2 more things. No, that's about it. Clipping mask, image trace, transparency. Oh, super important. Everybody ready? Let's find a logo. SpongeBob logo. Is there a SpongeBob logo?
You can use this house.
Yeah, maybe a title. Let's look. Oh, there we'll go. All right. Let's go vector. We're almost done here. Ooh, we passed break time. All right, this is gonna be done like right now. You ready? So I got caught up in this. Okay, check it out. There's a perfect one. EPS. Ugh, I did. Okay, I think I downloaded it. See how these are tricky? All right, download vector. You guys watching? Oh, it went to Shutterstock. Ugh. Tricky. Oh, no, it did download. Okay, you guys ready? Notice how this one is an EPS. Super important. Everybody should pay attention to this. EPS file. .ai, EPS, or PDF, right? Check this out. Everybody watching? If I double click it open with preview, it shows the logo and Bob in there, yes? Okay, watch this. This is important. If it's an EPS file, that means you can open it with Illustrator. And if I tell you I only want the logo part, the header, and you do this, create a new layer, SpongeBob header logo, yes? And I go Shift Command P. Everybody watching? And I select it and I place it. What happened? What happened? Can I edit this? Now, some of you guys that are smart and quick, you'll say, oh, well, I'll just clipping mask this. No, accurately, yes? Not fast like this. This is, ooh, it looks like a poo-poo. Sorry, it's brown. We'll change the color. I didn't mean to, by accident. There, it's yellow, right? And you would do a nice clipping mask, Command 7. But since it is an EPS or an AI, please pay attention. You open it, Command O, EPS, AI, PDF. Aha, what happened? Command Y, it is truly a vector file. Do not place. If I give you an EPS or an AI file, right, and you only need part of it, well, don't do that. Just select it. Get rid of, no, we're going real quick. Get rid of everything you don't need. It is vector. Select it, copy it, go back to your design, paste in front, Command F. There it is, vector. Why? Because it was an EPS file. Look at this. Totally vector, totally editable. The right way to do it. Do not place an AI or an EPS into Illustrator. Open it. Everybody got that? Everybody repeat. Open an EPS, open an AI, open a PDF with Illustrator. Everybody repeat it. Man, that was lame. All right, everybody good? Let's go on break before they close the store on you guys. That's it. That's your review. Make sure you guys can do this stuff. I'll post the video right now. Any questions before you leave today? You got to ask me. Something that wasn't. All right. Let me stop this. And I'll post it.